Jim Norton is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is The Jim Norton Show.
Hello. Wow, 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 wow. How are you? I appreciate you tuning in, those of you that had are now listening. Hopefully it'll be a good show. I don't think I'm doing one next week because I think Lou or the other folks there are going to be away. I don't want anybody to come in and do my dumb show. So we're still up in the air about next week. So the big news this week, obviously, old Charlie Sheen coming out and admitting he is HIV positive. I guess he's admitting that under duress, just trying to stop the blackmail. And, I'm a big believer in people's privacy. And I hate this vulturish culture we have of probing into everybody's, private life and their sexual business. However, when you're notorious for having sex with call girls and all that stuff, that's fine. But when you have HIV, if you're not telling people, that's a fucking terrible thing. That's a terrible thing. And, people always talk about, well, what is sex addiction? No such thing as sex addiction. I mean, the guy is obviously, I believe he's drug addicted and an alcohol. I think he's all that stuff. But I think a big part of it is also sexual addiction. Because when you think about it, why wouldn't you? Because he can live for a long time. With the medication they have now for AIDS and the cocktails and stuff, a guy with his kind of money especially can, live a very long life, and eventually they're going to cure it. And again, I don't know Charlie. I have no idea. I'm speculating just as a fellow pervert. But the only reason I can think that you wouldn't divulge that type of stuff I don't think it's afraid of getting work. You're not going to not get work in Hollywood because you have HIV. Personally, I think it's just because you lose the ability to have sex with all these women. When you're that famous, everybody knows who you are. And if you come out, take Magic Johnson. If Magic Johnson wants to have sex with somebody, there's not a person in this country that doesn't know he's HIV positive. So when you're on Charlie Sheen's level of famous, that's where it's a huge disadvantage. You come up positive and, you're not going to be able to fuck anymore and do what you want to do. And that's, to me, that's what sex addiction looks like. It's always like, what does it cost you? What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? It's not always about, well, I fucked a lot of different girls, or whatever, boys, or whatever it is your choice is, whatever it is you do, or even if you're not fucking, if you're just watching porn. It's not about the amount of it. It's what does it do to you, emotionally? What does it do to people around you? And what are you willing to risk to get it? And when you look at what does it cost this guy? His sex addiction, if I'm guessing he got HIV from having unprotected sex and not a needle. I guess we have to assume that. So not only did it cost him that, $10 million fucking dollars in hush money. 10 million plus whatever comes now. I mean, I feel bad for him in a sense just because it's like, Jesus Christ, thank God that's not me. But it's also that's what happens when you just run with something and do not do anything to stop it or to help yourself. That's the end results. So I feel bad for the guy, but I feel really bad for anyone he gave it to. And I feel bad for people like Brie Olsen or anyone else that dated him. I don't know why there's a thing with celebrities where oh, he's so famous, he doesn't have it. And maybe I'd be the same way if I was fucking famous people. If there was a famous woman who wanted to fuck me, the last thing I'd think is, oh, she's got HIV. Even if she was Cookie Johnson, I'd still she's fine. I know she's Magic's wife, but she's fine. We seem to think that very famous people aren't afflicted. Or, oh God, he's so famous, he would never do this without telling me. And, if somebody's high, maybe Charlie as a sober person wouldn't do that. Like maybe as a sober guy, he's a really decent person. I've heard very good things about him. But man, when you get somebody who's smoking coke or whatever else he was doing, fuck man, that's not the guy. You're not talking to the polite Charlie that you met on the red carpet. That's a different fucking human being. It's like drunk drivers. You pull over a perfectly rational human being would never drink and then, drive recklessly down a one-way street. But the guy that has a head-on collision, that's the guy you need to make the impression on. He's fucked up. All right, I'm babbling. Ryan in New York, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
How are you?
Huge fan, man. I just, that's kind of my question here, because, I listen, a lot. And it's, it takes up a lot of, my free time. I'm a musician. And, it's just, such an entertaining thing that, it does me no harm. But it gets to a point where, I'm bringing Chip to work. People don't enjoy that as much unless they know it's, so my brain is now less musically focused, and it's I pick up one-liners and I'm just running with them, and my girlfriend doesn't mind it and stuff like that, which is actually really good. But people at work and stuff like that, all right, just get the fuck back to work. So how do you kind of secede from something that's so benign and doesn't hurt you, but it's where does the motivation come from to kind of make a small change like that?
I don't know, and I'll tell you why I don't know. If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't still be doing Apocalypse Now references. Or I wouldn't still be doing Raging Bull lines. Your mother's cunt then. It's Raging Bull. I wouldn't be doing that stuff if I knew the answer. So, you want to watch the ball game? That's fucking cuckoo's nest. I've been doing that stuff for years. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how you get that stuff out of your head. I don't know why it's in my head. Why is it stuck in my head? All I know is that it is. So enjoy it, especially if your girl doesn't matter. Now, I'm always happy when someone calls and says, I'm doing Chip and my girlfriend wants to dump me. That always makes me happy. But she sounds like a good girl. And speaking of Chip, by the way,
yeah,
I'm doing the Chip animation, which I've been talking about for a long time. And I met with a woman today from the funding thing we're going to do, and it looks like we're going to start the funding drive for it at third. We're going to let you go, buddy, because I can kind of hear you on the other. Thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it so much. Take care. We're going to start that. It looks like the middle or end of January, and I want to start it December 1st. But the reason they said not to is because they said for December things are really good, but as soon as Christmas hits, all those funding things die. Because again, nobody's spending money, you're on vacation, you're seeing family. Early January is when the fucking bills, people start to panic. So nobody is spending money then. And they say that's a really dead time, it's a stupid time to start it. So that's the only reason I am now waiting, probably till the third week of January to get rolling. She said that's a good time to start a campaign. Excuse me for doing this in your ear. So it is coming. And it is coming, and I'm really, really psyched. It's not just something I'm talking shit about. I wish we could start December 1st. But we are probably going to do, I don't know if it's going to be a 30 or 60-day drive. Sarah in Canada. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
How are you?
Fabulous. Not really.
Mm-hmm.
I have been in a series of relationships that ended up in me being dumped.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I'm not really getting any sort of, helpful criticism. It's just sort of
how old
like
are you?
27.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think you're going to die alone?
Yeah. I feel like it's going that way.
Well, it's just a bad run, that's all.
Yeah.
Why are they dumping you? You don't know? I mean, what's going on in the relationships?
It's for very different reasons. I'll try to improve for the next relationship and try to change things, and that
what do you need to change? What do you think you need to change?
Well, I've worked a lot on my self-esteem, and I feel like I'm at where I should be right now, but it hasn't really changed anything in terms of finding a partner. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and look, I can't even... I can't tell you exactly what to do. It's hard to figure out. I get the same way, where I'm just going to die alone because I'm a zilch. I go through days I go really great days where I'm like, I'm doing okay. And then I have other days where I'm just completely completely convinced I'm a worthless piece of shit. It's black or it's white. It seems like that's the way it is. It's extreme thinking. Like either this is the girl I'm going to marry, I love her, oh my God, she's the one, to 10 minutes later, I hate this pig and I should hang myself. There really seems to be no happy medium for me. So I don't know why, and maybe you're the same way, but I'm sure you're not going to die alone. Just the fact that you have the self-awareness to go, like, what's going on here is something. Yeah. So you're probably not a completely unself-aware idiot. I would say just hang in there and you'll meet the right person. Maybe it's not all you, maybe it's them too.
I'm hoping that. I wish I could make it into something that I could fix. When someone just says that, they don't feel it or don't have the spark, it's sort of soul destroying, but yeah.
Give it some, don't panic. The holidays come, we all tend to think we're going to die alone because the holidays are coming and that's what happens. It's like, oh my God, I suck. Nothing's happening. This will be my third or fourth holiday straight being single. So, it bums me out a little bit, but I'm like, you know what? At least I'm not in a shit relationship. I'd rather be single and a little lonely than in a horrible relationship with somebody who I want to fucking smash with a hammer. You know what I mean? It could be a lot worse.
True.
So just masturbate and you'll meet the right person. Just take a zucchini or a yam if you're a really good girl and use that and you'll meet the right fella.
Oh, thanks.
All right?
Thanks, Jim. Thank you.
Goodbye, you little delight. See you later.
Bye.
What's up, Travis?
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, Jimmy? First of all, came to see you in Albany. You were awesome.
Thank you. Yes?
And I had oh, sorry, I didn't know if this. I thought I dropped off.
No.
I thought I heard you mention, I think last week on your advice show, someone asked you who's the hottest famous person you hooked up with, and I think you mentioned that Yate Brie Olson's ass.
We actually had sex. She was the only famous person I've ever hooked up with.
Nice.
With Brie Olson. And she knows that I've said that, and she's joked about it on the air with me, so I'm not breaking her confidence.
Right. I was wondering when you found out about Charlie, did you, I don't know if you touched on this during the show, during the week, did you get nervous yourself?
Not even slightly nervous. First of all, we had sex. It was, I think, 2008. I can't believe it's 7 years ago. Like, I literally cannot believe it is that fucking many years ago. She still looks amazing. So it was before she hooked up with Charlie. By the time she hooked up with Charlie, that was like a long time after she and I had hung. So I wasn't even remotely nervous. And I would have sex with her now. Right. I have no doubt that she's fine. Sure. I would have sex. Not only would I have sex with her, I would have sex with her now if Charlie bled on her first. I'd still have sex with her now. I had no doubt that she's healthy because she probably gets tested fairly often. She went on Howard. She talked about it. Look, it's fucking scary. I'm sure for all these girls that were fucking him, it's horrifying and it's enraging. And maybe he should have told her because I guess he's claiming that I didn't have it when I was with you, and she's saying, well, you had night sweats. But even if he didn't, if he was with her right before he got a diagnosis, he probably should have said, look, I might have had it, But whatever. He didn't, and she's okay, and that's all that matters. Right. But I have no doubt that she's fine because, I think that she gets tested, I'm guessing, enough where she would have known it in the last 4 years if she had it. So, I would have sex with her again.
I didn't know the time frame of when you had sex with her. So, all right, man, thanks.
Years ago. Yeah, she's a nice girl. Okay, thanks.
Yep, bye.
Let's see here. Dan in Colorado. I want to hear this one.
Hey, Jimmy. You're literally the only person in the world I know that could maybe answer this question for me. 2 weeks ago or so, I had a very legit massage. I was in a strip mall and everything like that. The business was having a deal that if you liked your masseuse, you could go ahead and pay for a bunch of massages in advance. I think it was like you got 5 for $400 or 5 for $300 or something like that. There's a huge discount. So I went ahead and did it. She was really, really, really good at it. So I went back for my second one, and in the middle of it, she did like a for lack of a better term, a move that very much made me feel like she was angling for something more.
Okay, what was the move?
What's that?
What was the move?
Okay, so I was on my, it's going to turn me on even talking about it, but so I was on my back. She was standing in front of me, massaging my lower back, leaning over the top of me, and she took one of her breasts and kind of rubbed it on my head, right? And I was like, okay, she just bumped into me. Then she did it. She moved her body across and kind of did and I could actually feel her bra, and she did the other tit basically, and kind of did a little bit of a circle, and then she started moaning a little bit, and I was like, oh man, this is really,
Was it a strip mall? Yeah. She's pretty?
Oh yeah, she was very pretty. She was very, very cute. Well, she's very kind of girl next door cute, but not porno star hot or anything like that.
Yeah, maybe, look, maybe she was hinting, or maybe she wouldn't have done anything else. Maybe she was just angling for a little tip, like, hey, I'll be sexy. Like, a lot of them want you to be attracted to them, and they kind of want you to be a little turned on, but not to the point of doing something obnoxious.
Yeah.
And they're not going to jerk you off. They might want you to feel a little sexy when because I'm such a jaded filth bag. You know what I mean? Like, if a girl sneezes and she gets spray on me, I'm like, oh, that was pussy juice. Like, I'm just a fucking moron who looks for signals when they aren't there. Or when a girl sends out a signal that's a 3, I'm like, oh, it's a 10. Sometimes they might just be going like, hey, they want you to feel a little sexy. Or you could have just totally misinterpreted it. But if it happened more than once, maybe she was throwing you a signal. I just don't know.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is, so I'm married, and I don't want to get in any trouble. And I really don't want to do this. So my question is, should I just, I don't want to bring it up, but should I just eat the rest of these, pre-advanced paid massages I've had for her, just in case she was angling for something, so I don't get myself in any trouble, basically.
Well, do you not want to do anything sexual with her?
No, I don't. If I were single, I would be all over it, but I don't want to fuck up my marriage for a...
that's, boy, if we all had the common sense you do. You know what? If you feel like it's going to be that, then eat them. Throw them out. Okay. Say, you know what? You had the experience, and you're really smart, and you're not going to fuck up your marriage, and you're not going to get arrested. So you're just the opposite of me. If I went in there and it was a legit massage, I'd throw them out. God damn, rip off. She didn't even graze my shitter. But that's a good way. You're looking for a legit 100% massage, and it's smart. You're married. You don't want to fuck it up. Good for you.
Thanks. Well, like I said, you're the only person in the world I know that can answer the question for me, so I really appreciate it.
And the fact that you questioned it, once in a while, dude, I've had plenty of, literally, I've had so many, I can't even count how many legit massages I get, a lot, where they don't do anything. And I've had totally legit therapists rub their tit on my head. And I know, I'm looking for a signal, and I'm like, no, that was literally because she's trying to get my back and she has big tits. And she's not doing it to be dirty. So you have to be careful, but if it happened a second time, you're probably right, okay?
Okay, thanks, man. I appreciate it, Jimmy.
See you later.
Bye.
Joe in New She's are you dating a girl for a year, and every now and then, what does she do, Joe? Hey.
Well, every now and then when we're having sex, she'll grab her iPad and she'll want to watch porno. So, and it's kind of a turn on because I get to watch it too, while we're going at it. But it seems like more often than not, she watches videos of a guy kind of taking a girl by force, not necessarily raping her, but being, some of them have basically been raped.
Yeah, it's a rape fantasy, sure.
Yeah, it kind of turns me on, but I don't know. I don't want to overstep boundaries, and I don't want to ask, because, if that's something you're going to do, you're not going to ask to do it, you just do it. Should I just go for it and try, see if she's into it?
Well,
I don't want to
hold on. She's your girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Well, why can't you talk to her about, I understand you want it to be spontaneous, and you don't want to jump into a rape fantasy, and then she's like, what are you doing? What the fuck, dude? So maybe you start off a little lighter. When you're having sex, what position are you usually in?
We do a little bit of everything. She's pretty adventurous.
Well, maybe hold her wrists down. Maybe when you're fucking her, pin her wrist behind her head. And hold them like that. Or sometimes if I'm fucking a girl and I can tell she likes that, maybe push her shoulders down onto the bed and fuck her from the back, where you're kind of forcefully holding her shoulders down. She'll like the pressure, or just talk to her about, I like to talk to women about shit in non-sexual situations. Because if it's hard in the moment. You don't want to say to a girl, excuse me, would you like me to rape you? That's always an awkward, play rape, so you might want to say hey, I like this porn that you're watching, and maybe she's trying to hint to you. But you ought to just talk to her, have a discussion about it. I think that's the best way to do it.
Okay. Well, thank you, man. And thanks for taking my call. It's an honor to talk to you.
Oh, you're a goose. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
All right, goodbye. Let's see here. Oh, God. Ron in Minnesota has a crazy theory. Hello, Ron.
How you doing, Jimmy?
I'm good, pal.
First of all, I wanted to say in a total non-wanting to suck your dick type of a way.
Well, then I don't want to hear it. I'm kidding.
That you are fucking awesome, and I schedule my day so I can listen to you.
Oh, thanks,
all right.
man.
So I just wanted to get that out of the way. But
Thank
yes, in the Charlie Sheen interview, he said he had no idea on how he got AIDS. Well, I think I figured it out. I think you had sex with Bree, and then when Charlie had sex with Bree, she passed it along to him. So Charlie Sheen has AIDS or has HIV because of you.
All right, I'll accept that. I thought you had a crazy theory. All right, cool. That makes sense. Perfect. You're right. You got me. The funny thing is, though, she doesn't have it now. So Bree had really amazing bridge AIDS. Like, she only had it for a week, and then it went away. But no, that I've gotten tested for HIV quite. It's always scary to get tested, though. You know, I don't care if I've been celibate for a while. It's still fucking scary to get tested. And I guess my last one was about, I want to say 3 months ago. But no matter how many times you go to get tested, dude, you're always fucking panicking. But it's a nice feeling when it comes back negative.
Yeah, that chick sounds like she's been around the block a few times. I'm surprised she doesn't have something.
Well, she did porn. Don't forget. Everybody knocks porn people. But first of all, in her private life, she probably uses condoms because they have safe sex drilled into them. And the industry is fairly safe. Consider the amount of fucking porno people do. And they have a relatively low HIV rate. All they do is fuck all day long. Hard fucking, anal fucking, and they have very, very few. When they do, the whole business stops. So there's a lot to be said for the way porno people in the adult industry handle. And I think more of it comes from the male performers who have sex with other male performers, just because I think it's easier to get fucked in the ass and get it. It's harder for a woman to give it to a guy. It's not impossible, but it's much harder because she doesn't have a dick. You know, if she's a bad girl, she doesn't. But you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know how he got it. There's been a lot of rumors about things that he has done, and I'm sure most of them will be spoken about in the coming days. And, I don't really care if the rumors are true or not, meaning as far as like what his preference is or who he enjoys. I don't think that's a big deal at all. So, he probably got it in that way. That's what I'm guessing. But who knows?
No, but I agree with you, though, man. I looked up a picture of that Bree. She is fucking smoking hot. I mean, I don't care if she does fuck a lot of dudes. I would have to get in line and give my chase, too.
Without a doubt, dude. Even if she had AIDS, what do you only live once? So what am I going to do, knock 20 years off my life? Well, worth it. But she was pretty adamant that she doesn't, and she showed her test to how. You can't be more certain you don't have AIDS than when you give Stern your fucking your AIDS test and it says negative.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really surefire way to say you don't have AIDS. So anyone who thinks that she still has it is just fucking with her.
I heard that episode on Howard Stern. Yeah, she was pretty upset that I don't know. She's either a really good actress or he did not tell her. So,
Personally, I don't think he did, because otherwise the denial out of Sheen's thing would have been like, well, I told her. But he's saying, no, it was after her or whatever. But I don't blame her. She feels fucking betrayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She feels betrayed that this guy had fucking HIV. I mean, that's a terrible thing. All right, buddy, take care of yourself, all right?
All right, thanks. Keep it up, man.
Oh, goodbye. What's up? Nathan in South Carolina. Hello, Nathan.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm good, my friend.
I was just, I was calling, just seeing if I was overreacting to a situation, which I don't think I am. I just wanted your opinion. I know you have a history with, you know how sexual stuff goes on the phone and online and stuff.
Oh my God, yeah.
But, I'm a truck driver, and, here in the last few weeks, my girlfriend traveled with me, and, it just kind of got to where, we needed the money, and she said, I just want to, get a job and help out. So I said, okay. So, I bought her a new phone, told her to use my car, whatever. Last week we're on the phone, and it was just an out-of-the-way question that made me think, or some interjected question in the conversation about how to get somewhere, whatever. And it was just, I could tell she was messaging while she was talking to me, and I could tell that she was full of shit. So when I got home, I'm not the type to check the phone, I never do.
Right.
Something told me to look at what she was doing while she was talking to me. Well, apparently she was Facebook messaging with somebody that she used to fuck with.
Oh.
And it was dirty pictures, and it was like them trying to set it up. And and really, I guess the reason it didn't happen that night, she was like, well, I don't work a double, and it's an hour there, hour back, and I got to get up in the morning. And she kept on like, well, get somebody to bring you this way and all that. All right, so that's the one thing I found. Then I found text messages with somebody else she used to fuck with. I mean, I don't know any of these people. I just gathered it through the conversation.
Sure.
And that was just more flirtatious, but she was saying about how she cares about me but don't love me, and she thought she could do better. Yeah.
That's
and like I said, I took care of this girl from the beginning, you know. So when I confronted her on it, basically she was saying that they Facebook messages about getting them fucking, that was just phone stuff, which I said I understand because I've done that stuff before too. But I said you were going the extra mile trying to set this stuff up. And then with the other one, the text messages where she was talking about, you know, the other stuff about how she feels about me. She says, well, sometimes I just tell people what they want to hear, and then they'll see eventually I'm full of bullshit. She just keeps giving me these bullshit excuses, saying, I mean, none of that was real. You know, it don't matter, man. You know, I love you. I want to work this out, but I'm refusing to work it out. I say, I mean, I can't trust you. I'm on the road 3 to 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And you expect me to put trust back in you. But since I didn't catch anything physically that happened, and I feel like I caught that one beforehand. I mean, I don't know if something else may have happened before.
Sure.
But, you know, am I unreasonable by saying, nah, man, I'm gone. You know, I just can't fuck with you like that or put that trust in you anymore.
Yeah, that's hard, man. I mean, especially truck drivers have it rough because you guys are gone so much. You know, I mean, the good part is you're happy to see the person when you get home. The bad part is you don't know what the fuck they do. But you never know with phone stuff. Like, I have gone through with women literally fucking entire relationships where we start talking, we start flirting. It even gets loving, where it's like a really caring relationship, dirty pictures, sexual, blah, 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 and then it fades off. I've met with them, and then most times I have not met with them. So there are people that do shit only on the phone. It becomes this really weird way of acting out fantasies. You're bored, you like the excitement, you can explore these weird things without actually doing it. But then again, it does set up a lot of scenarios where you do go and do it. I don't know, man. If you don't trust her, then don't fucking deal with her. I mean, if you think...
She's fucked both of these people in the past. And, you know, and it's, so it's not like it's just some fantasy or somebody.
Right.
And these are actual people she's fucked at some point in time. And, you know, it was just, to me, like I said, I've done a lot of dirty shit. You know, I've been a type escorts and love fucking strippers and shit like that. I mean, I'm pretty dirty myself. And I've done a lot of phone stuff. It was, to me, just going the extra mile about, you know, trying to work around to find a way where it can happen at night. And it's like, well, if it don't work out tonight, you know, we'll do it later. So, I mean, like I said, I understand how fantasy stuff can work, but like I said, that's just a tough thing to, you know, I think I'm taking a real big chance if I trust her. I think if I trust her, there's a 99% chance I'm wrong on this one.
How long you been with her?
8 months.
Yeah, 8 months, dude. Maybe you want to walk away. If you've already caught her doing this shit in 8 months...
And you got to think about, she was on the road with me. This was like the second week I was on the road without her because she traveled with me. And so basically, this was like 3 or 4 nights apart, you know, from the time of being with me. I'd only been gone that short amount of time. I'm catching this shit.
Yeah, I would say maybe your instincts are right to walk away. You know what I mean? If it's just dirty pictures, I've been contacted by women, dude, and half the times I'm talking to a woman, I don't know what her real deal is. Because I don't know her. Like, I don't know if she's married or if her husband is fucking her. I told you I used to put up ads with a girl I dated, and I would fuck her while she talked to guys on the phone. And I would go down on it. It was this perverted thing we would do. It was fun. So I don't know what to tell you, but if you think she's being really deceitful and sneaky, then fuck her, man. Just don't see her. You know what I mean? This way you'll be on the road, you'll have peace of mind, and maybe she'll learn. If she's talking to people she's fucked in the past and saying, I don't care about this guy, then what is she doing after 8 months?
Well, the way I'm thinking, when she come to me, she used to strip and escort, but she was telling me in the beginning, I don't do that anymore because I don't want that kind of life. So basically, you know, she's lived off me the whole time. Before I went back out on the road, I was a local driver. She lived with me. I didn't charge her anything then. And then, like I said, her mode of transportation now that she's got her job and her third week in it is my car. So it's kind of like she's got a lot to lose if I ain't in the picture, as far as until she could make enough money and get herself back on her feet.
Yeah, she was an escort. Yeah, you might want to move on, dude. You might want to move on. You know?
Oh, okay. I appreciate it, Jamie. I missed you in Charlotte this month. I plan to catch up with you in Atlanta.
Okay. Oh, we might be moving Atlanta. I don't know. We might be moving Atlanta. I might be switching that to a theater. I'm not sure. But I will be there, so I'll let you know, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Bye-bye, sir. Mike in Tennessee. Hi, Mike.
How you doing, man?
Hey, buddy.
Got a relationship question for you. Had a relationship. We kind of ended in like around August time, end of July, beginning of August. We were together like over 2 years. 2 years would have been in May. or April rather. So, close to 2.5 years.
Right.
First girl that I've ever bought a ring for, I never put it on her finger. We'd always have like a little tiff, like the week that I was planning on doing it or something like that. We did buy a house together though, so we have a house with both of our names on it. And I've got a little bit of a substance abuse issue that I'm working on now, and I'm going to counseling and, in a anger management classes and a 12-step program and trying to do the right thing and all. But, we're not together. And, if we ever do talk, it turns like where it's not civil pretty quickly.
Wait, hold on. How long you been with her?
I was with her like almost 2.5 years.
And are you actually sober now, or are you still dabbing a little bit?
No, I'm sober right now.
How long?
I mean, but probably about a month.
Okay.
But it's. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. What I found happens is like we when we're active in any kind of an addiction, especially drinking and drugs, there's a whole shitload of fucking resentment we cause. We run through people's lives like wrecking balls, yelling and screaming and being unpredictable and unreliable and fucked up. We do all this stuff, and then we cause all this resentment, and we cause all this turmoil, and then we get sober, and we begin to feel a little bit better. But we forget we have fucking caused a whirlwind of problems in somebody else's life, and sometimes it takes them a while. There's an old expression, the shit hits the fan when you're drinking, and when you get sober, you gotta clean it up, because it's blown all over the place. Sometimes that's what being sober is. It's taking a clear look at the fucking mess you have made, and saying, okay, I can't fix all this at once. Some of it will never be fixed, but that's what the mess is right now. And I'm going to do the best I can to work on myself today and understand. Part of making up for what I've done wrong is understanding that I have a lot of times put people in this shitty place. I have put people, there was a girlfriend of mine, and this was long after I was sober, who found out I cheated on her and she dumped me. And I was heartbroken because I really loved this girl, and she was right to dump me. And I cried and I begged her, and she just was not having it. And we weren't friends for a while. And we are friends now. We don't talk that much. We talk once in a while. And I'm just so grateful that she's my friend at all. Like, I fucked up her life being a fucking, again, I wasn't drinking, but I was a sexually active and a sex act, and I cheated and I got caught. So my fucking selfishness fucked her up. And I couldn't wonder, why isn't she hanging around with me now? When she walked away from me and didn't want to be my friend, I had to just accept that that's the price you pay for doing the shit you did. And then in time, when she realized, okay, we're just going to be friends and he's okay and I like him as a person, in time, you know what I mean? It kind of heals, and I apologized and I meant it. And that we were able to be a little bit of friends. So do you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, man, it takes people a long time to forgive us or to be comfortable enough to talk to us without yelling.
Well, I mean, especially at the beginning, everything you said described me 100%, talking about a wrecking ball and just pushing people out of my life and not thinking it's me at all, always blaming other people and doing those kind of things and just being completely destructive to myself and others. But, just like with the things I said about, buying her a ring and having this house with both of our names on the mortgage, and I want to do the right thing, and ultimately I want to be with her, and I don't know whether that can happen or not, but is it something? I mean, I understand the time thing. I understand giving it time and working on just me, and I'm willing to do that, and I've got a small support group that, that's willing to stand by me, some friends, and then my counselor, and then some other groups that I go to where I'm willing to work on all this. But, I do have an ultimate goal that I want out of everything. And, ultimately it's just happiness. But, I want the happiness with her that me and her used to have, because she was like my best friend, my workout partner, my lover. She was everything to me. Sure. And now it's I've lost, all of that all in one person.
Well,
is it something that I should just should I just let it go and give up on it, or is it something I don't think hold on to?
I don't think you have to give it up. I think if she walks away and wants you to give it up, then you may have to respect that. But, sometimes, dude, just working on yourself and being genuine about it. Not just if she doesn't come back, I'm relapsing. If you're legitimately trying to fix yourself and legitimately trying to change the way you are, people see that in time. And like a lot of times they all of a sudden notice, like, hey, he's a different person now. And their anger and resentment and mistrust subsides a little bit because we teach people, don't trust me. I'm fucking untrustworthy. I'm going to lie to you. You know what I mean? When you tell somebody, I'm going to be fucking unpredictable and I'm great today, but by 1 o'clock in the morning, it's funny when Anthony would always tell these funny stories about when he was married and his wife was a hardcore drinker. And Anthony would always say to them before they went out, now remember, we're not in a bad mood with each other. And his wife would go, no, of course not. He goes, we're not fighting. And then by the end of the night, she's screaming at him because she's drunk. Like, that's the way we are. You know what I mean? We're genuine, we're sincere in a real moment, and then later on, we're fucking unpredictable. So we have to give time to people to realize we're not going to be unpredictable like that anymore. We're not going to do that shit anymore. This is not just one more trick or one more delayed shit response that we're going to give them. So whether or not she comes back, I don't know, but I think you got to give her some time and realize, hey, look, that's the price we pay sometimes for living the life we live.
And then
right?
but what should be like the approach that I take to that? Like, I mean, I'm just like, I've got a friend of mine that I introduced like him to her, and like he's got a fiance, and so like, you know, his fiance and her are really good friends, and he and I keep in touch. I mean, he's like trying to work with me through like my issues and everything, and so I know like if there's a different scene, like, you know, he'll probably relay that message without even letting me know because he's good at kind of like keeping the, you know, compartmentalizing those things. And so like I want to work on myself. And, you know, Joe actually said something on one of his recent podcasts. You know, he's like, sometimes you got to face your demons, to ever get better. But he's like, you got to be honest about it. And literally this is like after the day that I started treatment. And I just said, like, that's speaking to me. Like, I felt like he was speaking directly to me, and I was meant to, like, listen to that podcast at that time.
Okay.
And it's one of the things that really made me want to do it. And then you've actually messaged me back on Facebook a long time ago talking about it when I knew that I had a problem back then, but was unwilling to do something actually to make a change. You know?
Well, now you are, dude. Now you are. And I got to jump because we got a bunch of calls, but I appreciate you calling, and I think you're doing the right thing by trying to get sober and stay sober. So my suggestion would literally just be to continue on the path you're on. Give her a little bit of space if she wants it, because we push people away. It's like it's almost like we spin in a circle. Like we were joking on the radio yesterday about those shitty fucking tops in Karate Kid 2, where they're turning it left and right, and those things are spinning in a circle. Well, that's how we are in relationships. No, Legion of Skanks, I think I was joking about that. So, you know, that we spin in a circle punching. We can't wonder why people don't want to be next to us. So give it some time. That's my suggestion, my friend. Let's see here. Oh my God. Joe in New Jersey. I helped you. I love taking I helped you calls. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Jim. In a roundabout way, I think you did, but I got to ask you a question first. In a roundabout way, you took a lot of weight off my shoulders, even if it was a joke or not. Now, on the morning show like a month ago, I've been meaning to call in, you said you breezed over it, and nobody even touched on it, that you put Freshen Up on your ass one day.
Yes, I did.
All right. Now, what was that for?
When I was a kid, I was hanging out with my buddy Marvin, who was one of my best friends, and I was walking to his house, and it was in the middle of the summer, and I think I hadn't wiped good enough. You know, I probably took like a fucking sweaty 12-year-old boy shit. And like I didn't wipe good enough, so my asshole was irritated. And I always said it felt like I was rubbing a sour cream and onion potato chip in between the cheeks. Like the cheeks were chafed raw from the sweat. So I went into his bathroom thinking it would be a good idea to cool my asshole off. And I put Freshen Up gum. I'm sorry, not Freshen Up. I apologize. What's the toothpaste? Aquafresh. Aquafresh toothpaste in my asshole, thinking it was cool and refreshing for about 30 seconds, and then I felt like that fucking politician in Mongolia who set himself on fire. My asshole was spitting flames, so it really burned my cheeks.
All right, great. You know why? It does make sense, and I hope you're not bullshitting me because it sounds legit, but dude, I'm your age, and I'm probably it was probably the same fucking day that we did it. I was the same kid with that ass, didn't know what the hell to do. I went under the cabinet, and what kills germs? Lysol.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Lysol on there. Holy, I saw, Jim, now, pain is this, but I was so, after that, I think I wanted to die from that. Yeah. But I was, when you told that story, I was like, it was like a weight was off my shoulder. Holy crap! I have never told anybody. I'm 47. I'm laughing my ass off. That was unbelievable. So I'm glad that you, in a funny way, you helped me out. Say, look at that.
Thank you, Robert. Take care, buddy. I appreciate your call. Thank you, my friend. Keep the Lysol out of your asshole. That's the message of. It's not even about HIV or Charlie Sheen. Don't spray your asshole with Lysol. That's the underlying message of today's show. And no fucking Aquafresh. Crest, I imagine, would be equally bad. Let's see here. Matt in West Virginia is going to marry a girl who won't give him fucking oral treats. Oh goodness. Hey, Matt.
What's up, Jim?
Hi, pal.
Hey, so I'm about to get married here in about a year, and I think I'm basically a sex addict, like borderline sex addict, and I've never got a blowjob to completion from my fiance.
Why?
And I wanted to see. She says that she has jaw problems, and she just doesn't like sucking dick. So I've never gotten one, and the sex is great. She's an awesome girl, like everything I've ever wanted, but no blowjobs.
Well, can you live with that, or do you want blowjobs?
I think I want blowjobs, but I don't know. I was seeing what you would think about the rest of your life without a blowjob.
I wouldn't even be friends with a girl that wouldn't give me a blowjob. I'll be here's why. Because I like giving head to women. I love oral sex. I love going down on girls, and it annoys me when girls don't like giving a blowjob. It annoys me. So yeah, that would bother me a lot, and I would not be involved with somebody. But again, if it's important to you. You know, and that's not shallow. That's a big part of sex. If you're not getting a blowjob and you want one and she won't do it, well, you already know that going in, so you'd have no right to complain about it. And tell her, like, it's really bothering me, and maybe she'll work on it and try to do it. But if she just refuses, then maybe you have to go, like, hey, this is just too important to me and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, maybe the family aspect's a little more important than a blowjob. It's a tough idea to wrestle with.
No, family is very important. You know what? Family is very important, but I think that somebody who won't do something basic like that for you, because you're just going to wind up resenting her, and you're just going to wind up wanting to fuck other girls or get your dick sucked outside the relationship.
I agree.
All right?
Well,
that's
something
up
to think
you,
about. Thanks, Jim. Love you.
Yeah. Good luck, man. Let's see here. Adam in Wisconsin, dating a girl who sounds like a good egg. Hey, what's up, Matt? Oh, Adam, sorry.
What's going on, Jim?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, no, I have a comment first for that guy that calls from Colorado asking what he should do with these massages, like just wash them away, get rid of them. I think that he should actually get to his wife. You know, be like, okay, he doesn't want to put himself in that position. So instead of wasting that money that he's already spent on him, just give it to his wife. Be like, hey, I was thinking of you. Take these massages.
You know what? What a true gentleman's suggestion that is. That's excellent. You know, I'm such a pig. I'm like, don't do it. Don't get your asshole fingered. And he could easily give them to a single friend. Great idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, but no, my real main topic here is I'm seeing this girl, and we don't have any labels on it or anything. We've been seeing each other for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now, closer to 6, I guess. But sex life's great, everything, but it's this drinking. She's an excessive drinker, and I guess I'd call her an alcoholic. I mean, it's gotten pretty bad to the point, like, I don't mind going out with her. I drink myself, but I'll drink on the weekends. I have shit to do during the week. I have priorities. But then with her, I get over there, I'm finding myself almost getting late for work. She wants to go out on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night. I don't know what to do. Like, I know if I try to talk to her, she might slow down a little bit, but it's just, to this point, I don't know. I mean, she's a great girl, awesome, very successful. She knows what she wants, but it's just this drinking. I can tell it's going to be a fucking leech, life sucker.
Yeah, man, I think that's a big one. And if you see it coming now, whatever you got to do, man. If you love her enough to stick with her, but that's a hard one to overcome if somebody's not willing to do anything. But if she's willing to try and you can give her a chance, then hey, stick with her while she tries for a little bit. But yeah, sometimes we see the writing on the wall. We almost always see it, dude. Like, I've never dated a crazy fucking person that I didn't know was crazy first, but I just chose to overlook her because she had great tits, or she had a fucking great smile, or, she gave a good head, whatever the nonsense was. I've overlooked so many fucked up things. And maybe a lot of girls have with me too. Like, a lot of girls knew I was fucked up and they dated me because I'm funny, or they dated me because they enjoyed me as a person. So, we always see it coming. So if you see this one coming and it's too much for you, then fucking back out if she's not willing to do anything.
Yeah, Right, yeah. I mean, it's not, I mean, I brought it up to her like, hey, maybe we should stop, drinking so much, and she'll like say, well, I have no reason to, blah, blah, blah. I mean, in her past relationships, she was with a guy, and she didn't drink as much because, they were together and they lived together, they spent time, blah, blah, blah. But, it's in a sense, like, we can go out together, we'll get shit-faced, but we never fight. She's not like a negative drunk, I guess I can't say, but I just know drinking as a whole, in the long run, in the long term, it's just going to be, a negative succulent, but it's not that bad when we're together. It's not like she's coming home at 3 a.m., bitching at me, throwing shit all over, and she's trying to actually cook me food. I mean, it may make them out burnt, but it's, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, who knows? It's up to you. It depends on how give her a little more time. You don't have to make a decision right now, do you?
No, God, no, not at all.
So, just see what happens. Talk to her and see what happens. That's all I can tell you.
All right, man. I can do that.
Be good. Let's see here. Oh, this is a rough one. Chris in Oklahoma. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello, sir.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I just had a kind of a sensitive question here, and it kind of tied in with that girl that called earlier. I am recently divorced, and I'm about your age, and how do you tell a girl that she smells down there? Because I love going down on girls or on women, but I've actually broke off relationships in my dating just because of that, and you don't have a way to tell them how to do it or what's wrong. And
did you ever try this?
Don't know.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the body chemistry thing. Did you ever try maybe showering with them right before a few times, and you wash each other really good and scrub their pussy, and then go down on them? Maybe that would get her into the habit of it.
No, I haven't tried that.
Why don't you try that? And you might be able to avoid an unpleasant conversation.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like, I wonder if there are, women out there that get turned down and they don't realize why. Because, I mean, how does a guy tell somebody, hey, you're funky?
Yeah, that's a really rough thing to do. Well, what is she doing right before you go down on her? Meaning, is she coming in from work?
Oh, no, we go out and, go out on a date and she'll be all dressed up. I mean, it's a clean woman. I mean,
try showering with her first and see if that works. Just see if she gets the hint. And then if you have to have the talk, you have to talk to her. But it's a very awkward talk. I've never figured out how to do that comfortably, dude.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate
Good luck.
it.
I got to wrap up soon. Tony in South Carolina. Hey, buddy.
Listen to you every morning with Opie. I love your work and everything. But one of the questions you have mentioned in the past about your issues with drugs and booze and things like that. You've been sober now for how many years, Jim?
My entire adult life, so it's probably close to 28, since February 1st of 87.
Oh, wow. So you were quite young when you realized you were in a bad way then.
I got very lucky, man. Yeah, I was very young. I mean, I knew the first time I did it, I knew there was something wrong. Plus, having a father who was sober helped a lot because, he would talk to me and he knew I had a problem and so did I. But it was fairly obvious early on.
Now, when you were younger, have you always enjoyed... I mean, one of my great pleasures in life is making people laugh. And you're a comedian. You understand that. As a child, were you always trying to make people laugh? And I'm trying to figure out if there's a real link between being a natural comedian and being prone to substance abuse. I mean, so many of you guys, go down that path. Is there any kind of correlation between... I mean...
I don't know. Tony, I don't know. I mean, every comic I know is addicted to something. And part of it could be because being funny is kind of a needy thing to begin with. Yeah, like me, that's where it comes from for a lot of us. And I also think that, once you make people laugh, and I mean, when you're really making people laugh, that's a high. That's an amazing feeling to do. And it's hard to top that by just sitting down and having, so we tend to reach for more and more because you get greedy for that feeling. So it also might be this whole, type A personality thing where you just want to fucking, I don't know if type A is the right one, but you know what I'm saying. So I don't know if there's a correlation. To be really honest with you, every comic I know is addicted to something, but I'm sure there are some who are not. So maybe there is a correlation. Entertainment in general. I also think as we get older, for us, it's much more accepted. Like, I don't know what kind of work you do, but let's just say that you work in a pharmacy. It's hard for you to walk into work and go, oh my God, I fucking puked on my dick last night. I was so fucked up. The other people in the pharmacy are going to be like, what? But if you're a comedian and you do that, your friends are like, yeah, fine. And then you start drinking together. It's like being a construction worker. It's okay to just sit there and drink. So I think maybe for entertainers, it's a more acceptable thing to do. So we get more caught up in it. But I don't really know the actual answer. I got to run, buddy, because I have to wrap up, okay?
Okay, Jim. Me too, man. Take care and keep up the great work.
All right, thank you, Tony. I appreciate you listening. Just to wrap up really quickly, guy missed my show in Erie. How did it go? It was absolutely wonderful. And somebody who sprayed Ungatine sunburn spray on his roids, and it was very painful. It sounds unpleasant. Joe and Queen. And we also have a guy whose girlfriend doesn't give him what he wants. I got to run. So you understand the guy who doesn't give BJs. Sometimes you guys got to ask for this shit. You got to sit down and tell her how important it is to you. All right, I got to run because I'm getting yelled at. Thank you very much for calling, and I may or may not be here next week.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.